The program is supporting in-home childcare providers in Marion County. Jessica Grunling shows us how it works and how it's helping sustain a childcare option for Hoosier families.
Spin to the left, spin to the right.
It's time to get up and say good morning.
Bonjour.
At Future Scholars Daycare.
Good morning.
Terica Westbrook is the owner. She started her in-home daycare 6 years ago.
I did work in corporate America for over 13 years and just really struggled finding childcare that was at the quality and level that I wanted for my children. So when there's a problem, you can be the solution.
She currently serves 12 families and is licensed for 16. Westbrook faces the same issues as many local child care providers right now with funding cuts. But on top of that, she's a small business.
Flexibility, access to resources, marketing tools.
She's now finding some of that help through the Central Indiana Child Care Alliance. It's a new initiative with Child Care Answers and United Way to help support in-home daycares with resources they may not financially have access to.
A huge goal of the Alliance is to reduce the administrative burden on providers by saving them time. And so we're helping with those back office supports, educating them on some of those business practices, business best practices, so that they can achieve those goals.
The program is in its early stages. Since July, they've helped 10 in-home daycares in Marion County.
For a lot of working families or low-income families, the provider that they can walk to that's in their own neighborhood is just what's most accessible to them. And while centers and registered ministries are also a really important option, I think having that balance, having those multiple options for families is just incredibly critical.
Westbrook is excited for what the program can provide and hopes funding comes back to the daycares that need it most.
We need the support of all of the state, the representatives, and the powers that be to understand that we have deep-rooted purpose here.
In Indianapolis, Jessica Grunling, WRTV.
The goal is for the Central Indiana Child Care Alliance to expand to all counties in Central Indiana over the next 4 years.
The Colts gave up 400 yards on this Sunday against the Cardinals, but the defense stepped up upon its number being called in the final minute. A fourth down stop in the red zone closes out a 31-27 win. An ugly victory, yes, but it improves the Colts to 5-1 on the season. The fact is you need to win games like this in the NFL over the course of the season, as the Colts came in probably the better team, as Arizona was facing some adversity with their starting quarterback Kyler Murray out. But the Colts were able to pull it together, put it together late, and come away with the win that puts them to 5-1. The Indy offense was methodical on its opening drive of the day. A 4-minute march down the field capped by a touchdown pass to Tyler Warren. The rookie tight end solid again Sunday. 6 catches, including that one, to give Indy a 7-0 lead.
When you have as many people as we do on our offense that can make plays, you kind of got to have guys that are selfless, and I think we have that all over the place. And it starts with the linemen and the skill guys, and Daniel spreading the ball around to everybody, so it's been awesome.
Josh Downs matched that with 6 grabs of his own. Downs' TD catch early in the fourth quarter tied the game at 24-24.
It's great. I was very excited. The guys were excited too. We got a great offense, a lot of great players: Tyler, Pitt, AP, Ashton, AD, and then you got the best back in the league with JT. So when you get your opportunities, you just got to take advantage of it.
It was another triple-digit performance for Jonathan Taylor, the most important yard of his 123 rushing on the day. Put the Colts in front with 4.5 minutes to go. And the D got that final stop to cap off the 31-27 victory.
We knew it was going to be a competitive game. They're a good football team and a good defense over there. So, it came down the fourth quarter, and good to see us be able to execute in that situation, go down and score, and then great stop by the defense there at the end.
Jones finished 22 of 30 for 212 yards. He threw an interception as well. Once again, the numbers don't jump off the page, but it was enough to keep things moving in the right direction.
Certainly made some mistakes here and there, and playing against a good team that's going to force you to execute and play well. I thought just mentally the fact we were able to kind of come down and execute down the stretch and make sure we were at our best when we needed to be. I think that goes a long way.
The day began with a pair of Colts injuries during warm-ups. Anthony Richardson suffered an eye injury working out with some bands. Sounds like he could be out a while. Javarius Ward had an unfortunate run-in with Drew Ogletree during a drill, and Ward missed the game in concussion protocol.
It was very interesting, to say the least. We had to kind of rally the troops there in the locker room and get us back into focus. And I thought our guys did that the right way, and just obviously hope AR's good and Mooney's good. It was just trying to get the guys back on focus.
So the Colts hold on to the top spot in the AFC. They have a tough matchup coming up next Sunday against another division leader when they make the trip west to face the West leading LA Chargers. The Colts' next home game will be a division showdown in 2 weeks when they take on the Tennessee Titans. At Lucas Oil Stadium, Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Now to college football and a soaring IU team. The Hoosiers climbed to number 3 in the AP Top 25 poll. It's the highest ranking in school history. Indiana earned the spot after beating Oregon by 10 points on Saturday. The win dropped the Ducks to number 8, their lowest ranking in 20 polls. Ohio State and Miami remain the top 2 teams in the country. A Howard County family is being honored for their contribution to baseball history. The city has dedicated Tom Underwood Boulevard to remember the former Major League pitcher who grew up in Kokomo. Tom Underwood pitched 10 years in the big leagues in the 70s and 80s, winning 85 games. He and his brother Pat made history when they pitched against each other in 1979. It was Pat's Major League debut and one of the rarest moments in baseball.
Tom and I came together behind home plate. He put his arm around me, and he was happy for me. He was proud of me. It gave him a loss. It made him 0-7, I believe, but his ERA was really good. He was still pitching well. I mean, he pitched a complete game, 1-0, gave up a home run in the 9th. But, he was proud of me. I think he wanted this for me more than he wanted it for himself. But that was my brother. That's how he was.
Tom passed away in 2010, but Pat says Tom's wife, Chrissy, and his 2 kids flew all the way from Florida to see their father's hometown honor him. Significant air crashes out of Texas and California. We take a look at the damage out of each scene as investigators are working to piece together what happened. We're just 18 days from Halloween, and you might have some sticker shock if you haven't bought a costume for your child. We take a look at ways that you can save.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Starting off warm out there today. Temperatures climb over the next couple of days before we level off later in the week. Still a lot of sunshine in place, but rain is in the 7-day forecast where we could see some much needed showers. That forecast coming up.
You're watching WRTV, part of the Scripps News Group.
Terrifying moments in North Texas.
Don't have any active patients that we can find. We're still assessing the scene.
A fiery scene outside Fort Worth. A small plane slamming into several semi-trucks in this parking lot, not far from the airport. The crash sparking a massive fire. Thick black smoke visible for miles. The destruction so severe, first responders at first could not tell what caused the explosion.
We've got several 18-wheelers on fire and a trailer on fire. I don't know if there is an aircraft.
Officials overnight saying they don't know much about the crash at this point. Even the plane's planned flight path was not immediately clear. This as we learn more about what happened in that stunning helicopter crash in Southern California.
Oh my God, oh my God!
A chopper hovering just feet above this Huntington Beach hotspot when suddenly it spirals out of control.
I heard a ping and something like some kind of mechanical part. You could see it fall off.
Witnesses say a piece of the tail rotor appeared to snap off, causing the chopper to spin wildly in the air before slamming into a pedestrian bridge. Good Samaritans rushing to help those trapped. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
Good morning. I'm Mike Duffy. Here's a look at what's happening today. President Donald Trump is setting off for Israel and Egypt to celebrate the U.S. brokered ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas. Trump is stopping first in Israel Monday to meet with hostage families and address the parliament. Vice President J.D. Vance also says Trump could also meet with the hostages themselves once they're released. Then the president will head to Egypt, where he's expected to hold a summit with 20 countries. Trump is expected to urge Middle East allies to seize this opportunity to build a durable peace in the region. Monday marks 2 holidays in the U.S., Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. The holidays are celebrated on the second Monday of October. Columbus Day first became a federal holiday in 1892, while Indigenous Peoples Day wasn't formally recognized until 2021, though it's not considered a federal holiday. It recognizes native land and acknowledges the contributions Native Americans have made to the country. However, in a presidential proclamation in April, President Trump said he wants to bring back Columbus Day from the ashes. In a Truth Social post, the president wrote, quote, "The Democrats did everything possible to destroy Christopher Columbus, his reputation, and all of the Italians that love him so much. Some cities and states still recognize Indigenous Peoples Day." The World Health Organization and World Bank are set to release a new report Monday on preparedness for global health crises. In March, the director of the WHO published an article saying countries have worked hard in the wake of the COVID pandemic to improve how they detect, prevent, and respond to new health threats. However, he said the world is not fully prepared for another major health threat.
Good morning. Starting off clear out there early. Temperature readings in the 40s and 50s, but dry skies in place. We're off to a mild start for the week. 43 degrees in Kokomo, 44 in Muncie, 45 in Greencastle. Our Columbus station not coming back at the moment, but has been in the low 50s early this morning. Indy now at 51. A couple of clouds just starting to stream in, especially as you head farther north and west, but otherwise clear, dry skies. I expect a thin layer of clouds overhead today, but you can leave the rain gear at home. We'll hold off on any showers until later in the week. 76 degrees for an afternoon high. Lots of sunshine through some filtered clouds. Through the overnight hours tonight and into Tuesday morning, we'll go from the mid-70s back to the mid-50s and then warm up pretty quickly again tomorrow. This will be the hottest day of the week with temperatures pushing the 80-degree mark. Our record high is 86 degrees, set back in the 1890s, a long-standing record. Not really a threat tomorrow. I don't think we'll make it there to even 80 degrees, but that's still very warm for this time of year, not only running above average by a factor of anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees. Within striking distance of a record, a couple degrees off. TrueCast keeps clouds through the afternoon. A broken cloud deck, plenty of sunshine and starshine tonight. As we get into Tuesday morning, another round of clouds to start the day, but we'll get back to sunny skies by midday into the afternoon, holding off on any rain for now. Our only color that starts to show up in the map here, some spotty green through Wednesday evening. A chance that we could shake out a light rain shower here later on Wednesday. Not completely rain-free, but few and far between. Not only most of the day dry, that'll carry over into Thursday too. So know that we hold off on rain chances again for the better part of a week. Until the back half of this forecast. Sunshine in place and a touch warmer today than where we were yesterday. We'll keep that momentum going into Tuesday before we level back off in the low 70s by Wednesday. Some added clouds through midweek, warming up again as we hold in the low 70s. Temperature readings in the mid 70s through Friday. This is pretty warm for this time of year. While it will be a nice stretch, mostly sunny to partly cloudy and 75, tough to beat. When you're thinking about fall and certainly October, our normal high this time of year 67. So some perspective, by the numbers, a warm week ahead. By the time we get to the weekend, that's where our isolated rain chances work back in. I don't see anything widespread. Scattered to isolated at best Saturday and Sunday, so if you're making weekend plans early, I would not call it a washout. In fact, far from it. But a big temperature drop from the mid-70s on Saturday. When our cold front comes through, we'll drop back into the mid-60s. So some swings there, plenty to keep an eye on. I'll keep you updated as we move forward. But for now, good morning, Indiana. We'll be right back.
Hensley.
You're watching WRTV, part of the Scripps News Group.
Walk through a costume store right now and you'll see ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. But the scariest thing? The price tags. How about $40 for a hot dog costume? Or $35 for this creepy clown? That's why Kathy DeHart turns to thrift stores instead.
Oh, that's the best place ever.
She built her own clown costume for a fraction of the cost.
I found a pair of men's pajama bottoms. They were about that wide. And I ran a coat hanger around it so it stood out. Then I had the suspenders, and I had a pair of shoes that were that long.
And she says it wasn't just a hit, it was a winner.
Yeah, I won first place on it.
At Goodwill, Brian Smith showed us just how far your dollar can stretch.
The Count Cutie, we have this page right here for $5.99. It looks like it was originally $29.99.
He says they have everything you need to create a costume on a budget.
Oh, look, Pioneer Boy, everyone's favorite. This is $12.99.
He says that same costume sells for $39.99 elsewhere. And to make things even easier, Goodwill created costume cards to spark some DIY ideas.
To inspire some of the DIY-ness, we created these costume cards showing what a little black dress can become.
One card shows how a basic black dress can turn into a black cat, a witch, or Little Miss Dread. Another card uses a simple white button-down to create looks for a chef, pirate, or mad scientist. Other ways to cut costs? Swap with friends or family. Ask around before buying anything new. Try discount retailers. Stores like TJ Maxx and Home Goods often sell costumes and decor for much less. Taylor Nimmo, Scripps News Group.
Celebrating the curious young Hoosier minds with experiments and connecting to professionals. The annual Science Festival teaching the joys of discovery.
Nights at 6.
Connecting our communities with stories that matter. This is WRTV.
Right now in Good Morning Indiana, a Johnson County teen will have his first day in court after allegedly raping a senior citizen. What the county prosecutor is saying about the case and how long the teen could spend behind bars if convicted. Plus, helping kids who have gotten in trouble by turning their lives around. The mission to bring them into the conversation to reduce youth violence in Indianapolis. Celebrating the curious young Hoosier minds with experiments and connecting to professionals. The annual Science Festival teaching the joys of discovery. I feel like that was maybe a little Chris there, getting excited about science at a young age.
I did love a good lab coat when I was younger. I had this whole science experiment set that had all these things you can mix and
Why
make
am I not
things.
surprised,
The
Chris?
big
Why
gray
am I not
thing, yeah.
surprised?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I love it. I love to see, you know, that little love for science spark something greater in life. We're going to get to that in just moments. But good morning. If you're just now waking up, I'm Caitlin Kendall, and obviously Chris is joining us now. Chris, it's 5:30 here on a Monday morning. A bit chilly heading out the door this morning, but what do folks need to know?
Starting off like fall, ending up a little bit warmer than that here, Caitlin, over the next couple of days. It's a nice stretch of weather, but running a little warm for this time of year. As Caitlin mentioned out the door, though, a little chilly start. Here's a look at some of our temperature readings where we're at 51 degrees in Indianapolis. Winds out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour, working to keep us cool. Your Day Planner Plus, focusing on the cooler air this morning and then the warm up here in the next day or so. Temperature readings for the most part have been starting off a little chilly. I got to look at your bus stop forecast in just a second. Low to mid 40s, especially outside the metro. So Greencastle 42, Bedford 46, 44 in Muncie. Temperature starting off cool right out the door. Not as cold as late last week where we had the frost advisories, but still chilly. I think by the time we get to the start of the day, the bus stop forecast starts at 50, climbs back into the mid-70s. Temperatures building as we head through tomorrow. Tuesday's forecast warms up even a little bit more. I think we can expect numbers near the 80-degree mark under clear skies. At 79 degrees, we'll be anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year. So some mid-October warmth in place as long advertised. We've been seeing this pattern for the better part of a week and a half now. We'll cool down after that. Some rain to work its way into. Much needed showers. Plenty on the way here, Caitlin, coming up.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. We're monitoring a crash situation on the east side of Indianapolis. You can see a live look here on I-465 at East 56th Street. You could see that crash with emergency personnel out and about. This is in the northbound direction of travel, so if you're on the east side trying to navigate 465 headed northbound, be traffic aware. We're seeing backups of about 5 to 10 minutes at this point. The good news is traffic is still flowing, but 3 of those right lanes are closed, so it's just limited to 1 lane as crews are out there investigating and cleaning up that crash. It does have traffic backed up quite a bit, and you can see that back up on the traffic maps. You can see the yellow area and the red area there, almost stretching down to the I-70 interchange. So if you're on 465 and you're trying to head northbound, just keep that in mind as you're heading out the door this morning. This is on the east-northeast side, if you will, not far from the Lawrence area in the northbound direction of travel. Other than that slowdown on the traffic maps, we want to take a look up north because there is some road closures and some construction. That construction's been going on for quite some time, all part of that US 31 construction, but something to keep in mind is that the road is closed on 106th Street between Illinois and Pennsylvania Street as crews are working on that long-term road construction project. Also in that area, the exit ramp is closed at US 31 at 106th Street. So a lot of that construction happening on 106th Street, but it's for that US 31 construction project that's well well underway at this point. We're going to keep a close eye on that situation. We also have our live drive headed to a Broad Ripple area where there's some reports of some traffic lights out. So if you're out and about this morning, just be traffic aware. That crash may be the main thing that you should keep in mind if you're on the east-northeast side of the city. Drivers on the southeast side of Indianapolis, you need to find a new route to work or school starting today. Access to Dearborn Street at Hannah Avenue will be closed at around 7 this morning. The closure is needed for work on the new Hannah Avenue Bridge. Crews are preparing for a concrete deck pour in the coming weeks. Drivers can use LaSalle Street as an alternate route until the bridge is complete later this fall. Metro Police have released the mugshot of former NFL quarterback and Fox analyst Mark Sanchez. Online court documents show that Sanchez was required to be processed at the jail in order to leave the state. Sanchez was in town the weekend of October 5th to call the Colts game against the Raiders. Early on October 4th, he's allegedly started an argument with delivery driver Perry Toll over where Toll was parked. Metro Police say that Toll was acting in self-defense when he stabbed Sanchez. The former football star faces a felony battery charge in the case, along with several misdemeanors. The other man in the incident was also injured. He has not been charged. A Johnson County teenager charged as an adult in the alleged rape of an elderly woman in her home in New Whiteland will appear in court today. According to the probable cause affidavit, the 79-year-old victim says that she was carrying groceries into her home when 16-year-old Ariane Smith grabbed her and put his hand over her mouth. The woman told police that she tried to stall him by saying her son-in-law was coming soon and then convinced Smith to pray with her. After praying, she said the teen grabbed her throat and began to strangle her. The prosecutor's office is also charging Smith with rape.
The person that we've charged is 16 years old. A lot of people would expect that to go into juvenile court, but we're very fortunate in Indiana that the legislature has recognized that certain crimes are so serious that they belong in adult court. This isn't a case where we have to ask the court to waive it into adult court. This is automatic file right in the adult court.
Smith was arrested after the owner of a nearby gas station called police to report him for stealing a vape from the store. The owner followed Smith and was able to lead police to the 16-year-old suspect. WRTV is naming the teen because he is charged as an adult, and if convicted on both the rape and strangulation charges, Smith could face a maximum sentence of 18.5 years behind bars.
A new initiative is working to be a solution for Indianapolis's youth violence issues. I'm WRTV's Adam Schoombs, your East Side community reporter. How this new initiative is working to help parents and kids.
I stole a car, allegedly.
15-year-old Ajari Starks says he knows what it's like to be in trouble with the law.
Cause I feel like I ain't had nothing. I feel like was nobody there for me.
Tarika Arnold says she's seen her 12-year-old son arrested before.
It just made me feel a type of way because first of all, you get caught with my gun, now I gotta get took money down the drain. And then I gotta worry about for real what you really out here trying to do with the gun.
They are now a part of the Youth Violence Reduction Initiative, which launched in September on Indy's East Side. The goal, to help be a part of the solution to solving teen violence.
It's better if you turn your life around. Because look, people like me getting shot and killed.
Program leaders say the initiative works with kids around the city of Indianapolis with help from city and national organizations. They say the goal is to get kids into mentoring programs, then provide services to the parents.
So me calling them saying, hey, I have your son on this list for this particular thing. I have a couple of choices that I need you to make. Either they're going to end up dead or in jail, or you could take this lifeline that I'm about to give to you as far as all of these different wraparound services.
So services can be anything from relocation to just having somebody to talk to, therapy, or providing a home-based caseworker. And the goal is to do an assessment. Mom, what do you need?
The goal is to make sure kids and parents can be both involved in the process of making changes in their community.
You got to ask questions. You got to try to figure it out.
Near 36th and Post Road, I'm your East Side community reporter, Adam Schoombs, WRTV.
There are more starving students at Indiana University than you might think because some cannot afford food. A free on-campus pantry is there to feed their need, and it is preparing to expand. The Crimson Cupboard served more than 7,000 Hoosier students last year. A student started the free pantry in a residence hall a decade ago, but a second pantry recently opened within the Indiana Memorial Union. The Union location will soon add a freezer and a refrigerator to keep up with the demand.
There are a lot of assumptions that get made about if students can afford to go to college. Certainly they can afford everything that comes with that, including food and food plans that are offered here on campus. And as we know, that's not always the case.
Students can use the Crimson Cupboard once a week. IU reports 2/3 of its food pantry customers are graduate students.
It's Celebrate Science 2025. I'm WRTV's Lauren Schwenker here at the State Fairgrounds where hundreds of people are gathered to learn more about STEM. I talked with parents and other people working booths here today about the impact that this has on families and kids' futures.
Temperature filled my red. He has been talking about wanting to do science for all summer long.
Meet River. Is science your favorite subject?
Yes.
He's one curious mind that got to participate in hands-on STEM activities and meet industry professionals. What are you most excited to see in here?
Honestly, everything.
River's mom, Jamie Schmidt, says she's grateful Indianapolis has these opportunities.
I think especially for younger kids, there's not a lot of options to do things like this.
While it's River's first year at the Science Festival, it's been around since 2011. And the booths and activities keep growing.
This guy plays the drum, and once kids learn a programming for this, they can create their own music. It's a lot of fun to work with.
There's even a booth that shows kids how to work and create robots.
And along the way, they are learning a lot of different things like problem solving, thinking critically, and there are lots of different advantages to robotics.
It's an experience that teaches many the joys of discovery.
It's a way to go. I mean, STEM is the life now, you know.
Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Lauren Schwenker, WRTV.
Happening today, guests can get free admission into the Eiteljorg Museum as part of their annual Indigenous Peoples Day celebration. The event will include performances by the acclaimed dance group Native Pride Productions, curator-led gallery tours, art-making activities, and more. Guests can also get the chance to have their photo taken with the dancers at 2:30 this afternoon. The museum is open from 10 this morning to 5 in the evening. The Israel Defense Forces are preparing for the transfer and return of the hostages as part of a ceasefire agreement in Gaza. We take a look at the preparations underway to welcome hostages home. Some regions of the U.S. are coping with dangerous severe weather today. How a strong nor'easter is affecting much of the East Coast.
Active off to the northeast, but pretty quiet here. We're sticking with sunshine, at least for now. That'll get us warm. Some heat into mid-October, but then we cool off. Some big temperature swings on the way and some rain in the forecast. Plenty to unpack when Good Morning Indiana returns.
Or visit leaffilter.com. You're watching WRTV, part of the Scripps News Group.
This morning, after 736 long days, Israeli hostages held by Hamas are finally free. Video shows Red Cross vehicles carrying hostages as they move through Gaza City on their way to Israel. And this video shows the emotional moment a mother reconnects with her son after more than 2 years. Crowds gathering in the area of Tel Aviv, known as Hostage Square. Israel says of the roughly 250 people taken during the October 7th attacks, 48 are being turned over to Israel by Hamas. 28 are deceased, including 2 American citizens. 20 are still alive. Among them, David Cuneo. He was abducted from his home along with his wife and twin daughters. His wife and children were released